Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Layers of Fear 2 blind playthrough. And this is episode 14, I think. I kinda lost track at this point. Come on. And we have ended up in what might be deep shit. Or a brothel. The jury is still out. Okay. These lines usually indicate that Ugo's coming. And then he left. Something
that should not be broken.
Let's back up for a second and just take in this scene. This is really cool. It almost feels a bit trash polka-esque, which is a style of tattooing, and I think it may also be painted art. Which tattoo?
Cheer up. You're all right.
Uh-huh.
You're not hurt. You're not upset. Nothing really happened. You just need to be more careful.
If you watched my blind playthrough of the first game, in one episode I talked about how the screen of one of my old computers died while playing a game called Undying. That is almost what it looked like when it happened. Not so dramatic, but now this is beyond weird at this point. I like the really stark contrasts. Okay, so we can't go that way. In between the red and
Why am I always the one?
the more or less black and
Why
white.
aren't you there? Why didn't you protect me? Why did you let this monster?
Yes, I think that was the very definition
Useless!
of an angry yell.
I hate you!
that reminded me a lot of Metro Last Light, when Pavel is being dragged off by mutant arms and you're supposed to save him or let him die, and you try to traverse like a little tunnel getting over to him. Very cool. Hello. And I like with this mannequin, when it moves, it feel okay. It looks a bit like stop motion that is done by someone who isn't really patient enough to do it. Like they're almost little, like frames are missing in the animation of the mannequins. Which is really cool because it makes them seem even more threatening.
This is not the end. This pain will pass. The scars will fade.
So it's not very clear what I'm supposed to do. I can't turn to the sides. Can't look down, can't look up. Doesn't matter what button I press. Oops, sorry. My bad. Oh. Why didn't I think of maybe I could back up?
The flame will burn it all away.
But it feels like this story is now finally starting to come together. When James was born, Schizo.
Look at her. She's got her whole life ahead of her. Years.
That looked a lot like the old Dario Argento movie Suspiria.
I'm having a conversation you cannot hear.
Yes, James' mother died giving birth to him. Their father never really got over it, and he was somehow involved in either making movies or having a movie theater. And I'm guessing due to him not James and Lily fled. And their dad didn't really pay attention to things like security and safety measures. So something happened to Lily. She passed. And James was unable to save her and feels guilty for it. Something along those lines, at least. And
Why did you let this monster? You're weak.
okay, I guess we'll do the lap.
You're worthless.
And I'm thinking this is not really Lily.
You're nothing.
This is a manifestation
I hate you.
of James's guilt for not being able to save his sister. I'm willing to bet on it. Let's see. Head up. Damn, there's a hell of a lot of ladders here. So, will we find out where she died? Was it on the boat? Or the ship? So she fell down the stairs on the ship, fell back into the flames. During their travel / escape from their father. Something like that. Once again, Shining-esque with the blood-filled
You were
corridors.
meant to live forever. And I will.
Psycho.
I will be forever.
Alfred Hitchcock's famous, might be his most famous movie. Also one of those
I will
movies
be.
that has aged surprisingly well.
I will.
Forever the dream, forever the wound, forever you.
It's also one of those classic horror movies that if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you actually watch it.
It comes from you.
Because as I said, it has actually aged surprisingly well. I saw it the first time, or saw the whole movie the first time, just a few years ago. And I am, as I said, I am 38.
You will never be conquered. You will never be tamed. It will never be yours. Do not go into that reckless flame. It was not meant for you. It will not let you.
Yeah, well, I'm an adult. I can make up my own mind, make my own decisions.
Your heart burns. Your soul peels away. And still you choose to go deeper.
Yes.
You cannot have it. You can never have it.
Trophy, go against the grain. For trying to save my sister, I
Please,
guess.
Please come back. I need you. Hello? My name is James. What's yours?
Uh-huh.
The weight of this sad
King
time,
Lear.
we must obey. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say.
There is a lot of focus on Shakespeare plays because King Lear, Hamlet, The Tempest, I'm guessing The Twelfth Night also are all almost said screenplays, but stage plays written by William Shakespeare. And
That's a funny name. Can you help me find my sister?
I've never seen any of them live. I once went. I talked about in a previous episode that I did take a drama class after high school, and a few times throughout that class, we would go to see plays in the theater, and we actually went to see Macbeth, which was a great experience. And it was so funny because we had been there just like a few weeks earlier and saw another play. Let's see. 4, 4, 3. Could that be it? Yes, we saw another play just a few weeks prior about, let's see, 4, 4, 3. Called People in the Sun. About two families trying to get along at a campsite. Which is me simplifying it a little bit, but there is a character in that play who is a complete and utter dork. Like, hopeless twat. More or less. And he was a fun character. But not the coolest cat in the litter, so to speak. But either way, we came back a few weeks later, maybe a month or two, and saw Macbeth. And this guy played Macbeth's friend. And this is so a reference to the movie Seven.
I was drowning in a sea of thirst.
Hell yes. The first guy they find who
Never
has been forced to eat spaghetti and meatballs that almost looks like spaghetti and meatballs. Or not meatballs. like minced meat sauce or something, and then the killer kicks him in the stomach, so his stomach bursts. But that's not what I was talking about. I digress. This guy plays Macbeth's friend that Macbeth, I think, kills and comes back to haunt him. And when he came back as a ghost, he was so fucking scary and so threatening. I was almost crawling out of my seat. And I was amazed at how good an actor this dude was. And on that note, I am gonna end this episode right here because, yes, we are running on overtime and it's as good a time as any. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.